adorable.
As it should be.
She's sitting over here farting next to me.
Yep.
Over and over. It's very stinky.
Aww. Stinky baby.
I do love her. She's great. I'm gonna light a candle before I go live. The broadcast has started, by the way. Everything is being recorded, but we're on a title screen.
Okay.
She probably got into something outside.
Yeah, that makes sense. They do that.
Oh yeah.
Do you want a candle, love? I just put one up over there. Okay. All right, let's nudge this pig into the starting position.
Yep.
We don't kick pigs around here. Hello and welcome to the Ilderon Tales. Oh, we're on roll 22, so we can do this. Oh, I don't like that one. We'll do this one. Yeah. Welcome to the Ilderon Tales. Tonight, I actually have to think about this part because we're playing two different games across the campaigns. So tonight we're playing Dungeons and Dragons. If you tuned into the last stream or caught the last video, we are playing Ilderon Tales and Twists. We're back to D&D, a little bit more combat and mechanic focused system. Everything you're going to see tonight is live storytelling. Story can go in any direction, and we will see. And I talked to Insomni probably for about 2 hours until her brain exploded of trying to discuss the ramifications of what Misty did last session. And tracking the fallout of the world and everything. And Insomnia was like, I can't take it anymore. I don't know. And I was like, I don't know either. So we've got an idea, but however that goes, we'll probably keep going with this campaign until we clean up all of the loose ends, or we want to do something else. If you're under the age of 14 and you're watching, stop and talk to your parents. You're going to see content that is inappropriate for you. And yeah, let's jump into the recap. Last session started off on the 19th of Father. The party is currently in the nation of Ardersarai in the town of Somar Villa. They are attending a prestigious ball of a lot of different nobles and influential people and military officers and council women and counselors, all in attendance here. The party is navigating the different social circles. Their original goal was to try and befriend and get resources from the lady who throws this ball each week. Her name is Lethalia Nakart, and the party has been having various emotional moments of enlightenment and yeah, that's the term I want. Enlightenment feels good. As all of this has happened, last session, Malila and her date Honey arrived to the ball. Billy had reunited with Lilfear and was sitting and talking to her on a balcony, and Ivana had stepped into a arcane door that transported her across the world to Elena's menagerie, and had a moment to sit and talk with Elena, eventually batting back and forth with her ideologies and the things that Elena has been doing in the world. More importantly, Elena divulged that she's trying to start a civil war in order to steal the Earthfire and put a spell on to Ivana to swear her to secrecy, and told her why she's trying to take the Earthfire. Essentially, a very important person has found the avatar of the goddess Lilia. In her mortal form, she does not remember much or know much of why she is here on Ilderon. And they are trying to restore her back to her more powerful deific form. And it has turned out that she has given away tons of her power throughout the years to different gods within Ilderon, to different nations, and all of these aspects of her are all across the world, and they are going and stealing and taking them back and infusing them back into her. After much conversation, Elena relented that it's not a very great idea, and it's not something she really wants to do. They're all bonded together by the Milanthogar, a man named Jinprius Mari, and he has promised each of them something incredibly important to each of them that they have not been able to find anywhere else. Elena's promise was that she would not have any temporary magical alterations that could be undone with a spell. He would help her completely reincarnate into an eternal form and marry and join his marriage circle for the rest of forever. A privilege that no Sarai has ever gotten before. It was her only avenue of love and affection, even though it wasn't much love after some convincing from Ivana. Elena has relented on the goal, but doesn't know how to get out of the situation she's gotten stuck in. She's going to try her best to withdraw from the organization she called the Seven, and the party is aware of 3 of its members. The other 4 are unknown. Somebody tried to poison Amaru, and a cleric of the Sun Yith, a light, came and cleansed Amaru's drink and stopped her from having potentially a bad evening. And Melila's date ran off to the kitchens to talk to the head of security there to watch, to send people to watch the servants who are delivering stuff in the main ballroom, and the rest of the party has made their ways back to the kitchens for a myriad of different reasons. Galay and Amaru to do drugs, Ivana and Billy to make sure Galay and Amaru don't do drugs, Melila to find her date, and I think that is everyone. So yeah, let me grab my character cards, and we are gonna jump into this. Alright, so we've got, that is everyone. It is the 19th of Father. It is approaching the wee hours of the ball. I think various people are departing. This event, though, goes well into the night and into the morning. You all saw Lethalia Nakard, I think, last session or the session before last, but she has not made an appearance within the ball hall. And Billy is aware that Billy's been to these before, that Lethalia never mingles with people here, practically ever. You're wandering through the back passages of the servants' halls, or the servants' corridors. These are one of the few places inside of the keep that have light. As you are walking through to the path to the kitchen, you can turn and see down different hallways. Because of how this keep is structured and there are different buildings built around it, once you get into these internal halls, there's no windows facing the outside. And looking down any one of these other hallways, there's not a single torch lit. It is just pitch blackness in each direction. And this is the D&D moment where 5 players jump up and tell me, wait, I have dark vision. But just for flavor reasons, it's dark. Not like, if you have dark vision, you can still see and make out details. You're making your way through the servants' quarters, or towards the kitchens, through the servants' corridors. You can follow the paths of torches. Amaru and Galay, you guys have narcs following you. What would you all like to do?
Well, I guess we're following everyone into the kitchen.
Okay. If you keep following Galay, and I'm assuming Amaru is also.
Yeah.
Galay is going to turn off one of the paths and say, we're actually gonna go and try and find a restroom this way. So we'll meet you all in the kitchens. And she'll grab a torch off the wall.
I'm gonna look at her and be like, okay, fine. Meet us in the kitchen. Don't take long.
Delay's going to nod. And Amaru, do you go with her or do you continue with the rest of the party?
I will absolutely go with her.
Okay. Go
Can
ahead.
I peek into the rooms while we walk?
Yeah, these aren't really rooms. So this place is massive. Somar Villa is probably about 7 miles in diameter, maybe more, and this place is probably 1/5 of the entire city. It is an entire town unto itself in here. So while these are like little corridors you can see in these corridors there are little rooms and stuff here. But there are more passages basically splitting off each of these.
You know what? I'm gonna go snooping.
Okay.
You can come back to me later if you want.
Yeah, I don't mind you snooping. I actually encourage that. But I am going to ask for some navigation checks probably. And I think
Alright.
that's survival. So let me pull up a character sheet real quick. I have too much TTRPG in my brain. I'm playing 4 different TTRPGs right now and running 2 different ones.
It's a lot to remember.
Yeah. All right, make me a navigation check using your daring. I'm kidding. Yeah, just give me survive. You don't have to.
What are
Your
we, perception or investigation?
It's going to be survival. And you don't have to roll anything to peep or snoop around. That's something you do for free. The survival check is mostly so you don't lose your way back.
Okay.
Am I seeing her just kind of go off?
Yeah, I would say as
Oh.
you guys start walking forward, you see Billy's attention's probably caught by something. If you want to grab
That's
one of
not
these
bad.
torches, you can head off into these corridors too if you so desire. Or if you have dark vision, you can just walk into the darkness.
I got a 17.
Yeah, I was saying, did you want to grab any light, or are you just going to
Oh, you're
wander
talking to me.
around?
I thought you were talking to. I thought somebody else was following
I think
me.
I'll say I'll be like, I'll just, I'll meet you in the kitchen. Okay. You
Oh, okay.
go find what you want.
I actually have to remind myself real quickly. I think I have dark vision.
You do.
Yeah, I don't need a torch.
I don't. I don't think.
Okay, well,
Neither
don't
does
believe I do.
Galay. She is very, very human.
I'll bring a torch in case somebody else wants to find me.
Okay. So you go snooping. Amaru is off with Galay. So that's fine. And Ivana and Malila head to the kitchen. I am going to just roll a dice. D4 minus 1, and that'll be who we go with. 2. Ivana. Or wait, no, that's Amaru. Okay, Amaru. You and Galay are going to go wandering through these dark halls, and Galay is going to be the first to speak up and say, "What's the point of even having a keep this big if you're not going to staff it properly? Half of these rooms look like they haven't been used in over a decade."
The bigger the keep, the bigger the ego.
And she keeps it pitch black in here. After walking and turning down a few of these hallways, Galay is going to say, "Shit, I don't know how to get back." You guys turn and walk a path back, and there are no lights leading you. Does Amaru want to do anything?
Galay, please tell me that you know where we are.
Galay is going to say, "Well, I didn't think we wouldn't be able to hear anything or see anything. This place is like a dungeon." She'll turn down another hallway and say, "I think this is the right way. Have we seen this painting before?" She'll stop and stand before a large portrait of a Ardorian woman.
Have we seen this painting before? Like,
No.
oh, yeah. Shit.
Galay is going to read the inscription on it, or read the plaque next to it, and say, "Oh, she died. How terribly tragic and lovely."
Um, I was trying to think of something to say and I lost it.
She'll, if you want, you can see the name on the plaque too. The name is Renfana Surreal.
Am I losing my mind, or is that name, I don't know, surreal sounds familiar from somewhere? I may just be losing my mind.
Galay is going to turn her head and say it's the very popular noblewoman in the capital that just got married to your friend's sister.
Oh.
Lilfear will look over the portrait and say, "This looks just like Lethalia. Wow." Anyways, I mean, here's as good as a spot as any. She'll pull out the rock lily dust.
I am trusting you here because I've never tried this, so if I go insane from this, I am blaming you.
Lilfear is going to brush her hand forward and say, No, feel like you're sleeping, but you'll be awake. It's like a cloud. And let's see. All right, I'm gonna need a DC 12 wisdom save from Amaru.
I
Like
will do my best.
Like Galay said, this thing immediately starts putting your body to sleep. You start feeling it creep into your mind. That fog. For a second, there is a highness. You are numb. Everything in the world feels like this passive peacefulness. And you get a little yawn come over you. And Galay's gonna say, "Don't fall asleep. You're not supposed to fall asleep. The fun of it is being awake through it." Did you roll? Oh, there you go.
Uh-oh.
Amaru, you are out cold after your first bit of rock lily dust. How about you roll me a fortune roll for yourself, just to see if Amaru took a appropriate amount for her size or overestimated her capabilities. So you're rolling a D100. Oh, and you're trying to get less than 96. Yeah, perfect. You're not going to take any psychic damage from this stuff. As you have a bit of loopy dreams, and am going to roll something else for you. A few minutes go by, Amaru, as you are in these halls before you finally hear a voice calling you and beckoning you back to sanity. You can hardly focus. As you open your eyes, you see another light here, and this person has a name. But they're not inclined to give it starting off, so I won't search for it. You are going to hear somebody's voice, and after a second, you'll feel that anesthetic cleanse and move through your body as it disappears, and you open your eyes to see a man standing next to you, and he's going to speak and say, "Guests are only permitted to wander the halls with permission from the Alliance. Who are you?"
Ah, fuck.
Galea is dancing on the other side of the room with her torch. Your friend hasn't been as much, or hasn't been as helpful.
Ah, even before giving her name, her first question is, I don't owe you any money, right? I
The man will help you to your feet and say, "The powers I can call upon are limited. Come, we can get your friend to a cleric." He offers you a hand up.
Amaru will take it, because why not?
All right. You follow a mysterious man into the darkness, holding Gale's hand. And we'll jump back over to Billy.
Ah,
Billy,
yes.
you are wandering through these rooms, just poking for anything you can see. I'm going to do this rather quickly and as like an overview, if that's okay.
Yeah.
And
Fine.
I would, and the reason, because like I don't want to describe each room, so I think Billy would kind of go from like room to room to room.
Yeah.
And there's just,
Just looking for something important.
yeah, there's a ton of stuff here. So how about this? I have a list of all of the important stuff in here, believe it or not. And I'm going to roll a percentage die of how close you are to it. And why don't you roll me a d12 and I'll count down on the list.
All right. Is it slash roll?
Slash roll or slash R.
Slash R1d12. Okay. 5.
All right.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
Well, that's not terrible, actually. You wander deeper and deeper into the keep. You keep your path a little bit on how to get back, and you walk into an area that's near pure silence. Like the winds, this bottom floor of the keep, you don't hear winds from outside. The echoes of the party You don't hear. It's just your footsteps, and as you are, and the little bits of stone and wood that you step on, crunching beneath like your boots. That said, your first couple of rooms are unremarkable, meeting rooms that don't seem to have been used. You see a storeroom that has parchment and other things that just
Sorry.
you're fine. That servants would come here and grab. But your third attempt at a room, you find yourself in what appears to be some sort of small library. It is just a study. There is a reading nook with a small table next to a plush chair. This room also, again, in total darkness. It does seem like it has some use, or it has seen more use than the other rooms. As you wander around, you can see on the table next to the plush sofa, there is a large tome that has several tabs in it of where somebody's been reading and annotating.
All right. You said it was a book with the large tabs?
Yes.
What's the title of the book?
It is Struggles of Sarai.
I flipped to one of the bookmarked pages.
Okay. You are. This book is a it's a theology book. Half like history, half theology. It talks about the different conflicts humanity has found themselves in since the Ascended era and the different ascended gods, and how each god played a role in basically making the world the way it is now. Lethelia, or well, yeah, I'll say you can pretty much assume this is probably her book. Lethelia has annotated this page. It is a page or a chapter starting on Soyesa, and it basically notes on where the author may or may not have gotten something right. Things to like a little to-do list for her of like she'll scribble next to one, have Thas reach out for comment, or I'm sorry, have Viadim reach out for comment. I think in isolation it's kind of hard to make sense of this.
Can I sort of, it doesn't have to be like perfectly word for word, but can I kind of copy into my sketch, my notebook, some of the,
Yeah.
additional, just kind of these connections that are being made.
Roll
and
me an
stuff.
insight check.
Sure. Fuck.
Yeah. Billy.
Can I re-roll it?
Yeah, if you want to spend the fortune.
I don't think there's any fortune on this sheet. Let me go to my old sheet.
You've got 20. Oh, I think I have your old sheet up. You have 25. If you want to spend all 25 and then take 5 misfortune, I'll let you roll it with advantage.
Sure.
Believe in yourself.
Alright. Oops. I accidentally made it into 52. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, can the second roll I made count, or should I just roll all together again?
I think out of fairness, roll one more time.
Fair. Right.
14 is a much better.
It's better than a nat 1.
Yeah, I forgot for this system I actually have to set DCs. Uh, so I'm not going to ask you to roll again. I think 14 is probably enough to pass.
Alright.
And Billy, as you are reading and copying these notes, they seem oddly personal. Some of the people mentioned in this book, Lethelia has notes that are marked that aren't denoted by the text. And yeah, she is asking her steward to go and do things, and are making notes for herself for a steward to go and do things. But I would say, like, your first shake of your head is like, on that nat 1 of like, well, this doesn't make sense. She couldn't have known these people. Some of them are, nearly 200 years old, and she's a Sarai. And then, you remember that, okay, well, some of these people might be long-lived or ageless or have the gift or, of some other lineage that might have survived longer. And there is just that extra little layer of oddity to this person you're interacting, or you're trying to interact with. You can take notes from this chapter, and you can assume that Lethelia Nakehart does not have a high opinion of the fire goddess or the people of her family.
Interesting. Good to know. Okay. Have I looked through any of the other tabs in the book, or just one?
I would say I'll give you an intelligence check if you want to quickly skim. Otherwise, you can sit here and read for the night.
Maybe an investigation check?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. 16?
16 will be a success.
Yay.
You look through the other pages in this book, and suddenly the section for Soyesa stands out as very queer.
Oh! Wait, which kind of queer?
Weird queer,
Okay.
sorry. Or not weird queer, different queer.
Gotcha.
Lethelia has a high opinion of all of the other ascended gods, which pairs well with what you know of her public persona. She funds a ton of temples through donations from her estate. And there are 4 prominent ones right here in the city because of her. Her reverence for the other ascended gods does not seem to be as personal as her dislike of Soyesa.
Okay.
But it is worth noting that this is one of like the most popular books on the Ascended. I don't know if Billy would have read this before, but most people at some point within the faith would come across and read this book. Like, I don't know if there's a fair comparison. It's not quite the Bible for the Ascended Gods. It's more of a scholarly look at their influence on the world.
Sure.
But it is, yeah, rather popularly spread around.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like a manifesto.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna do my best to put this back exactly where I found it, so it doesn't look like it's being stirred. Do I need to roll for that, or is that fine? Still 3 something?
No, yeah, you're okay.
Okay. And if I don't see anything else of interest in the room, I'm gonna walk out and keep wandering.
Um, I would say you can walk out and keep wandering. I don't think, like, I don't think I am in the position to tell Billy if she sees anything interesting. There's a, like, this is a study. Um, oh, there is a term for a place where people read books and study that's not a library and not a book room.
Isn't it just a study? It's just
Um,
called a study.
no, there's another one, and my brain is thinking like with an R. It's like a repository or something.
Oh.
But yeah, this is specifically a place where a ton of books are stored, and yeah, she has a area to. Yeah, we'll go with the study to annotate and write
Okay.
and read. There's so many of these other books are on the shelves that, like, as you look at the back wall, there's probably a shelf that's 8 feet wide, 10 feet tall, or maybe 11 feet tall. That is just hundreds of different tomes and journals on it.
Are there any that look like they're specifically about the fire god?
So Yessa,
Yeah, so yes.
She is not as much of a fan of Soyasa, so it's, yeah, definitely fewer in her reading. Where you see a gap in the books, you can go and look, and this is probably where this one came from. Thumbing through, you can see a ascended journal. This is something the followers of the Four Ascended do. You are meant to write down your stories and your travels and share them with the world. And it is kind of your way of joining and ascending, like, your mortal bonds of, like, your story living on forever. It is deeply personal to read these things if somebody hasn't chose to share them. But one is here on the shelf.
Ooh, the moral implication. I'm gonna blow out the torch. I can still read.
Yeah.
My torch specifically. And I'm going to try and flip through that and see if I can find any information that explains her hatred or her personal bias against. What's her name? Saressa?
So Yessa.
So yes, sorry. So investigation?
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to make you roll an investigation check for it.
Okay.
I would say you can keep thumbing through the pages until you see words you're looking for.
Right.
Finally, you do stop on a page, seeing the word hate used in a sentence. And you see more, or you are able to read more of her writing. And I would say, I'm not going to, like, read this journal entry word for word, but I would say the sentence that, like, catches your interest is, I don't hate what was done to me. Long have I thought it was a curse, but I'm coming to live with and appreciate it. I don't think, and it would go on to talk about her quest for vengeance, and directing that fury towards a person you very loosely know, Lord Draylin Madison.
Making a little note in my notebook about that too. Do I get the vibe if I like flip to other parts of this? Do I get the vibe that Draylin cursed her?
Yeah,
Or
he
is-
did
okay.
something awful without her consent that she doesn't write about in this journal. Um, I would say it's going to be a DC 15 insight check to try and read between the lines. But she is very
18?
clearly omitting it. Um,
18.
you can put 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 all together to add up this equation. You have information about Draylen. Your friends told you he is a powerful vampire. And Lethalia was once in love with him years and years and years ago. And he had a great idea and opportunity that they could be together forever. And he inflicted something horrible upon her.
Ooh.
You
And I
can
get no
surmise that that
idea.
is. You can surmise that that is. He has. He destroyed her soul and turned her into a vampire.
This isn't known to anybody that she was a vampire.
No, it is not. She does not interact with anyone, except Anadelia, that woman you talked to a few days ago.
I quickly put the book on the shelf because I know I've read a little too much now. I'm not gonna write it down that she's a vampire. I wrote down the stuff that I said before, but that
Okay.
little detail I'm gonna keep to myself
That's
just so that
not in
nobody
the
can-
book, by the way. That is.
Oh, that's a thing
That's-
I've gathered.
Yeah, that's reading between the lines.
Still, I don't want anybody to look at this and know that I at least suspect it.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna put that back. There's probably not many more rooms I should be exploring, right? I should probably find my way back. 'Cause I've already looked through a bunch, right?
It is completely up to you. I'm keeping an eye on the time, so I'm about to switch scenes. But if you want to go back or you want to look
I'm gonna
at
continue
something
wandering.
else. Okay. That is
See what else I
perfectly
can find in
fine.
this manor.
Um,
It's a
I'm-
manor, right?
No, this isn't this is a keep. It is an entire ass massive castle with like several massive like grand halls and theaters and things attached onto it. So it's like the theater hall that you were just in for the ball. That space was like big enough to hold thousands of people easily. That was like a performance theater space that had been
Yeah.
converted. That said, though, you are able to, or you're able to keep wandering. It doesn't seem that anybody is in these dark quarters to stop you. I will say there are some things that are going to click to Billy's mind that I would, as dungeon master to player, warn you of. There has been a omnipresent fog over Somar Villa.
Oh, and that's
One-
why there hasn't been a sun.
Yes.
Okay.
That tends to follow very, very powerful undead creatures. And you are aware now you are in the lair of a vampire. Potentially, that very powerful creature causing whatever is going on in this town. You
Okay.
might be wandering through. Their
Yeah, maybe
lair.
I reconvene. I go back and look for. I try to backtrack and see if I can find the others.
And that wasn't me saying don't do this. I just
No, but genuinely, that's not a bad idea. I should probably, if I'm gonna look, because in my mind I was like, I'm gonna go find and confront her, and then I'm like, wait, no, that you're right. That's a really dumb idea to do that alone. Billy
this
dies.
yeah, this is much there's oftentimes like a much bigger presentation of this, but I'm trying to truncate some of the content, so I don't think I would normally in session like directly connect those dots for you, but you know, keeping the story a little bit more digestible. It's just like, hey, by the way, you know, just a little, this fog's been around. Okay.
I did forget about the fog, genuinely, so I appreciate it.
That is perfectly fine. That's why I do it. I will come back to you. Wandering.
Thank you.
The rest of the party is going to find their way into the kitchen of the Nakart Keep, and I don't think we necessarily have a page for that right now. Oh, yeah, I do have a page for the kitchen, but it is not the kitchen.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's fine. I had mentioned this before, but it's something else. That said, we are going to switch over to the kitchen. You have been through so much tonight, Ivana, and it would be nice to just find a place quiet away from the crazy. Stepping into these serving quarters, you are going to kind of find an area, weirdly enough, that drowns out the craziness with its own level of craziness. There are a dozen different chefs and cooks here, preparing food, servants running things in and out of storage, people moving in and about this room, people quickly carrying things back down the hall, wheeling carts or carts filled with like food, and carts filled with different drinks or tiny mini kegs on them. And as you move into the kitchen, I think there are probably several head chefs at different stations, all running and calling out things. Malila, you can see, weirdly enough, rather than talking to the head of security for the kitchen, there is a man over here with a sword by the door, who's kind of watching all of this, and he's got about 3 other people in here keeping an eye on the kitchen. His view doesn't leave this hall, or doesn't leave this kitchen area, and to the servants that are ferrying things up and down the hallways. That said, rather than talking to him, you see that Malila has actually fallen into line as a line chef. She is laughing and cooking alongside someone as they are stirring a pot. And she is chopping things up on a cutting board. And does she notice you all step in? Does not appear that she does. It's not hard. It's not hard to see how somebody might have slipped poison in here, as standing at the doorway, very few people here acknowledge you. Everyone's kind of on to their own task.
I am going to
sneak up behind Honey and goose her a little bit while when she's not chopping anything. I don't want her to cut herself, but I'm gonna be like, you!
As you take a step into the kitchen, go ahead and give me a stealth check.
Oh, this will be exciting.
Ooh.
I
Yeah.
got
Even
a
if you
1.
rolled twice, it would be bad.
Right? Oof.
Malila, you are going to get one step into the kitchen, and I will let you roll a dexterity saving throw as you
Oh,
feel
bless.
your feet tripped up.
Here we go.
You stumble to hold
Ooh.
your balance, and
Very.
as you go toppling forward, somebody grabs your hands. The man near the door, the head of security, tripped you with his scabbard and caught you. And he's going to say, tables are back that way. Food will be out soon.
No, my date. She's in here.
And he's going to turn, look over and say, oh, the one from the North Flower Bakery.
Yeah. Hey, honey.
Honey will look up and wave and step away from the line and come over and say, I'm sorry, I got distracted. I was coming back out.
I should have known you were gonna find your people.
She's going to nod and say, you're not going to believe the array of people here tonight. I learned more from listening to all of them than trying to talk and get any information out of people in the ballroom.
Oh, have you heard anything about the reason you came back here? I don't want to say poison and like panic people.
She's going to nod and she'll say, Canellen never showed up for her shift tonight. According to the cooks over there. However, the head chef says that Canellen's out serving tonight. I think that was the person, probably.
Okay. And all right, we should make sure that that doesn't happen to anybody else. Or like, wait, where did she go? We should ask her if she wants to the one who was poisoned. Where did she get to?
Oh, the big Elonagian woman?
Yeah. I thought she was with me, and then she's gone somewhere.
Honey is going to shake her head and say, I hope she didn't get off of the torch path. I've never worked for any other event other than the ball, but there might be 100 or so more rooms in this keep, and the Nakarts only keep about 10 of them lit at any one time.
Ooh, plenty of dark alcoves to get lost in.
She'll shake her head and say, you could fit entire villages inside this place. And I have plenty of elbow room left.
Oof.
The head of security is going to speak up and say, Your friend asked about it, but I can assure you nobody's slipping poison into anything in here.
Are you sure? Because something had to be purified out in the ballroom.
He's going to nod and say, I've got a good eye on everything. That said, I will send one of my swords out to talk to the director out there.
All right. Well, thank you.
He nods and he is on his post. He puts up a hand. One of the other people patrolling through the kitchen is going to come near him and he'll exchange a few words, and the lady will nod and head out. You both can wander around the kitchen if you so desire. However, I think that there's just a nice passing moment here where you get a chance to breathe before you go back out into the craziness. And by the time you're both ready to go into the ballroom and look for go into the ballroom and either look for Amaru or finish out the night, Billy is going to come up behind you all, entering into the light of the hall and into the open walkway into the kitchen.
Hello.
Hi.
Do you know where the others went? I thought they were following you guys.
Thought they were too. I need to find Amaru, I think her name was.
Do you want to come look with me? There's something I want to bring to the attention of the group.
Of
Wait, hold
course.
on. Am I here? Sorry.
Yes, you are.
Sorry. Oh, okay. I think I'm definitely still out of it, and I think I just registered poison. And I'm like, wait, what? Wait, what is happening?
A lot.
I'll explain on our way back to the ballroom.
I was like somewhere else for a while. Okay, that would be nice. If there's poison, we definitely need to look into that.
Yeah, apparently someone tried to poison Amaru earlier, and
Oh my god.
a priestess purified her drink before she could take it. But we're trying to figure out who did it. We're trying to figure out why, if it was specifically for her. We're still figuring stuff out.
Okay. I think in my head I'm like, all right, this is another task I could put my mind on and think about other things later. I'm like, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
We have a plan.
We have something
Well-
to do.
Go ahead.
While we're walking out, like, I just want to wait till we're out of, like, earshot
Okay.
of the kitchen staff and stuff. Yeah, so, I did a little wandering. I would like the rest of the group to know this as well, because I would still like to talk to her. But, new development, the lady of the house is a vampire.
What?
Yeah!
Wait,
Something about, like, I think Draylin did it to her.
fucking course he did. Oh my god.
I know. Of course it was Draylin. Here's the thing, though. That doesn't necessarily mean she's evil, but that would explain the fog. And if we did want to befriend her for resources and stuff, who knows?
Maybe
Maybe
don't bring
she's
that
not.
up.
Yeah, but also, you know, maybe she's not a bad person and she's just dealing with this and whatnot. But
Yeah, no.
it's good to know what we're getting into if we go find her. I don't want to go look for her alone.
Yeah.
Understand.
Maybe we
Okay.
should keep a stake on her person somewhere. I don't know.
Okay. Do you know how long has she been. Do you know that? Or wait, how did you figure that out?
Did I get that vibe of like, could I have well, okay, first off, I will say out loud, I was reading. Okay, this is very much between us. I think it's very. I feel a little badly about it, but I found her study, and it was, well, I found a journal that she wrote in, and it talked about her experiences with Draylin and the curse he gave her, and I kind of read between the lines. And
Okay.
yeah.
I see.
And how
Is it-
I mean, do I have an idea of how long it had been since that happened?
You can roll me a history check.
It would have been hundreds of years, right? Because we know that. We know based off of. I'm also gonna say this out loud. I also read annotations in a book about the gods, of people who she couldn't have known unless she was hundreds of years old. Which check did you say to do?
History.
History.
Interesting.
Oh, good God, Billy.
Nice.
I'm rolling pretty okay today, knock on wood.
Yeah. So Yessa is the youngest of the ascended gods. She's about 250 years old, in terms of her
Was she
ascension.
friends with Soyessa?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Okay. Not friends, but knew personally.
Yeah, and so Yessa's family actually immigrated from Ardor Sarai. So it's not a stretch for somebody who may be 200 years or less to have met and known some of these people. So that said, you can estimate her age as probably under 200 years old.
Okay, based off of putting things together, it seems like she's just under 200 years old. So it would have happened around then, and I think she knew Soyessa personally because she had some beef, I feel like.
Okay.
And I mean, also,
Could I do like
who knows?
I was like, can I do like a history check or something on Soyessa to see like what I know about
no,
her?
you don't have to roll anything. You are a member
Okay.
of the religious order of the Four Ascended. I would say that all of this comes with your teachings and your role consistently.
Okay.
So Umiya's teaching is to respect all life in all of the different shapes that it takes. And that's one of the reasons the unrepentant are such a feared force, because you guys kind of consciously go against that teaching and say sometimes some life needs to be dealt with to protect others. The fire chantry, so Yessa, one of her tenets is the merciless slaughter of the undead. She believes the undead are a plague upon Ilderon.
I can
and
see
need to
the
be-
hatred.
Yes. Entirely eradicated for the good of everyone.
And it's
So
not
I
like
think
she had a
then-
choice.
Yeah, I think then out loud I'm gonna say, oh, guys, Soyessa hates the undead.
Ooh.
I can kind of see
Honestly,
the conflicted
yeah.
interest there.
yeah. I mean, like, it doesn't sound like she wanted it. She's been struggling with it. What if... Is there a way to cure it? Would that be something she might be interested in?
She probably would have already found a. I mean, she's so powerful. Like, she's not even like physically, but like she just has so much money and resources. I feel like she probably would have found a solution.
Do I get the vibe from what I read that she had looked into it?
I would say you've got enough between the pages information, because don't forget, you guys have when Anthem was with you and you broke into Anadelia's library and you got that artifact and
Oh.
you saw all of those visions and things, you've seen Soyessa and Draylin experimenting with these wildly powerful, strange, and terrifying magical processes.
Wait, so Yessa?
No, I'm sorry. Lethalia
Okay.
and Draylin.
Oh,
Okay, that
okay.
makes a lot more sense.
yeah.
I was like,
My
what?
brain farted.
Okay. So she was trying, but did it, like, do I think she wants to break it?
I don't think you have that information. Yeah, I'll let you roll an insight check if you want, but I would say that
Please let my luck win.
yeah, you got
Oh.
some incomplete stuff going on. I would say that you needed a 15 to pass that. But for what you do know and what you're thinking on, you do remember reading the passage that she said she doesn't hate what was done to her anymore as much as she
okay.
used to.
So there was a period of time where she would have wanted it, but now she's adjusted and adapted. I wonder if she's a spawn or a true vampire. I'm saying that out loud. Because there's a
know.
difference.
Yeah. I mean, do we still want to talk to her?
I kind of do. I'll be real. I'm pretty sure Amaru would say the same. I'm down to talk to her, and if it goes badly, it goes badly. We fight.
Speaking
But I kind of
so
want to get answers about
First
Draylin.
off, where do we know where Amaru is?
That's honestly what I want to look
well,
for right now.
Yeah, I would say you don't know where Amaru is, but once you get far enough away from the kitchen, like I said before, this is a really fucking big place. Ever so often, there's a servant like walking by you all, but other than that, silence. So
Creepy in here.
yeah,
Mm.
it's not hard to kind of know where you're going on this torch path, but when you hear something off the path, I think that would catch all of your attention as one of you hears, or maybe all of you hear the distant echo of Galay's voice. She is singing, saying, I'm not gonna sing on stream. You know what? I will sing on stream. She's gonna be singing the Passions couplet, and you hear her say, "No woman as fair whose breath is cold."
I think I just
So
put my head
fucking
in my
cold
hands.
in this country.
I'm just like, oh my god, she's high. I'm gonna head over there. Be like,
Yeah, I'm gonna follow the voice.
Yeah,
I'm like-
following the voice.
Okay. You can find Galay easily. If for any of your sake, if you want to not get lost in these passages, it is a DC 13 check to just remember where you came from.
Survival?
okay.
Yes.
Survival. Fingers crossed.
19.
Not my
I got-
strongest.
Yeah, I got us. 18.
Alright,
I
I'll
like-
follow those
I
guys.
pull
It was kind of incredible I succeeded the first time, to be honest.
I like pull
Um,
Chloe or Lily out of a hallway. Be like, nope, not that way.
We're coming,
Uh,
Amaru.
As you get closer to the voice, you turn and corner and you can see a distant light coming from around another bend. Walking to it, you can see Galay is being led by the hand by a man that you don't recognize, and Amaru is following him. He does have a torch out, and he seems to know exactly where he is going.
Excuse
We don't
me?
have any weapons.
He
Okay.
stops and turns.
What are you doing with my friend?
Yeah, what?
He's going to say, "Excuse me, I'm Viadem Raff, steward of Lady Naykart. your friends got high in one of the passages, and I only had enough energy to cleanse one of them.
May I
Lady-
take it from here?
He'll nod and say, by all means. Would you like me to lead you back to the ballroom?
Sure, actually. Thank you.
Would you like? And I'm gonna like whisper in somebody's ear and be like, "Shouldn't we ask him to take us to the vampire lady?"
I
We don't know that she's a vampire.
Mm-hmm.
We're pretty
We're-
positive she is, but also, Amaru doesn't know that yet. Okay,
can
you know what?
can I
I'm
look
gonna
at-
telepathically say something to Amaru.
Okay. Amaru is sober as Galay is going to
And I use lay on hands on Galay and use like 5 hit points to like help her out a little bit.
She slaps her hands across both of your cheeks and is going to say, Ifan, I'm having such a good time. Oh,
I know
you
I
ruined
condoned
it.
this.
Oh my god.
I know I condoned this, but maybe not in well, we just learned some new information. I'll tell you in a minute, but
That'd be a bad
maybe not
high.
right now. Yeah.
Galay
Um,
comes to.
I'm going to say to Amaru telepathically, while she's doing that with Galay. So, and by the way, you can't respond back. That's unfortunately not how it works. But you can look at me in a weird way. I don't know. So, lady, what's her name? Nathalia?
Yeah, Lethalia Nakart. Lady
Lethalia.
Nakart.
Lady Lethalia is a vampire. One thing. Number 2, kind of still want to meet her, and whether we fight her or befriend her, I don't know, but I want to learn something from her. Nod yes or no if you think that's a good idea.
Amaru will like put a fist in the air and furiously nod yes.
I knew it! I fucking knew it. Okay, I'm actually gonna then say to the guard, change plans. Actually, could you take us to Lady, Lethalia?
He snaps back to the conversation, turning his head. And Melila,
Yes.
you actually have a 16 passive perception.
Yes, I do.
As this man is standing here with you all, he is the perfect spitting image of an Ardorian servant to a noble. He is calm, he's collected, his face is neutral, and ever so often you see him looking over his shoulder and just a very tiny slight bite of like his lip of nervousness. You see that he, even though he is trained to be of service and professional, you get the feeling this man is scared of something.
Scared of the vampire.
But he
lady.
is very much hiding it. He turns back to Billy and says, well, does he recognize who you are?
I have a signet ring.
Yeah, well, I would say I don't think he recognizes you right now in terms of knowing or seeing your face. And he's going to say, Lady Nakart only meets with the higher members of the Alliance. If you want to schedule a meeting with her, I can reach out to some members within the Alliance who might be able to handle your affairs.
Wait, are the Tolls part of the Alliance?
Do you ask that?
No, I'm just, would I know that?
Very, very fucking begrudgingly.
Alright, I'm gonna say, well, I am not first in line, but I'm one of the heirs of the Toll family, so if you could point me in that direction, there were some matters I wanted to discuss with her about resources and alliance.
Vietnam takes a moment to study you.
I have a signet ring that I can
Yeah.
sort of switch over and show to him.
And he's gonna say, "You're the second daughter."
Yes.
Forgive me, Lady Tolls. I didn't believe you were much involved with politics of the region.
I'm beginning a new arc for myself, let's say.
And are your friends members of your organization?
Yes.
All right. Let's be hasty. Come. And
If it's all right, do you think you might be able to, when we get closer, just point in the direction? There's a few matters I wanted to discuss with my, what's the word I'm looking for? Colleagues?
Companions.
Associates. Yeah. There's a few matters I wanted to discuss with my associates before we walk in. Thank you.
He'll nod
I
and
really
say,
appreciate your
"Yes,
discretion.
I'll need to counsel Lady Nakehart before your meeting.
I like while we're walking, lean over to Ivana, and I'm like, I'm getting good at this.
I know. Like, it's like your family's powerful and you're using it to your advantage.
I know, it's crazy.
You get what you want.
Yeah.
You guys are the 1%, unfortunately or fortunately.
I know, and Billy's just never wanted to capitalize on it. Now Billy's like, fuck it.
I have something to do now.
You follow Viadem. He will lead you through a path climbing a set of stairs, and it is next to impossible to realize where you've been or where you've gone. Even as you climb higher in this keep, there is still like no light, and he is it's his torchlight that's leading you every place till finally I would say you get to a room and you hear the distant music of a harp playing.
Distant music of a harp playing.
Yeah, somebody playing a harp. And Viadem is going to stop you in this hallway and say, she wasn't expecting any meetings or visitors tonight. Please give me a moment.
Yeah, that's fine.
And Viadem's going to walk towards the door, knock on it, and open and close it behind him.
Okay, what are we asking for? Like, specifically?
Okay, honestly, I don't know. I kind of just want to know about her. She sounds kind of cool.
Okay. And okay. Do we want her support to help with the Draylen issue, or do we just kind of want to talk?
Well, we have to have some sort of question for her so she knows we're not wasting her time. Like, that should be. Yeah.
We can't
We
come
can
out
just ask her-
swinging
we
asking about the vampirism.
No,
We
I
could-
would not
we
suggest
could-
that.
We could just say, like, as an unrepentant member, I've noticed that some shady dealings, like, Draylen has been in through some sources, like, we can just ask about Draylen and, like, under the guise of, like, an official investigation or something.
Yeah. We could do that, yeah. I
don't know, that might be a
like,
sensitive subject.
If there's a way for us to find a common ground with her, I would be interested in that. Like, obviously we both...
Can you remind me who Draylen is?
You haven't met him yet? Are you asking in character?
No, I was asking just generally what's the sitch with Dre? Or no, actually, Malila would be like, who's Draylin? Why do we care about him?
Oh, right,
Um,
you don't know about him.
he's
Not yet.
really evil dude.
He's a
He
powerful
trapped someone
vampire.
he trapped someone in a mirror, evil mirror.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
not an, oh, he's also, I think,
do I like know his name and place in society? Is he like a shady,
Yeah,
mysterious figure situation?
you can roll me a history check on him. You'll get information regardless. You get more information for each tier of 5 you get.
Okay.
Blah. You know of Draylin Madison. He
Okay.
is a northern noble, not really much liked by your family. He runs his main source of income, he runs a logging camp that he logs the Alien Forest, which is highly ill-advised. The Alien Forest
Okay.
is super magically cursed.
Okay. Logging guy, super evil, northern noble. Sweet. All right. So.
And he worked with Lilfer too, right?
I thought Lilfir was spying on him.
Lilfir is
yeah,
spying
yeah.
on him, yes.
Yes. Yeah, that's
Okay.
right. Yeah. Yeah, as a general thing, our target at the moment is kind of Draylin. We've been
Yeah.
kind of concerned with him for a while, but
Sick.
yeah, if we can potentially have her on our side with Draylin or find out information about Draylin through her, that would be huge. And we also saw her through the mirror that he used to trap somebody in, that she has worked with him a lot. We
Can
saw
I like
vision.
pull out the mirror and be like, evil mirror. I'm like holding it with like a cloth, like,
Oh.
and then I like put it
Goody.
back in my pocket. It is pretty, but then I just sigh and I'm just like, yeah, and I just put it away.
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
say
it's a
for
lot.
the few seconds you guys look at Shattertooth, it is probably the most awful moments of your night. That powerful
Just a
smell
horrible
of
dread.
powerful smell of sulfur. Whenever it is out, it's kind of got like a little brimstone-y vibe to it, and it's white and it has several cracks in the silver mirror behind it, or in the glass of it. And there's one other thing. Oh yeah, there's an echoing voice of a lost soul that you hear. It's foggy and you can't make it out.
Evil mirror.
Yeah, creepy, right?
For the couple
Okay, maybe
Crazy
never
seconds.
show that to me ever again if we don't have to.
Yeah, it has
Yeah.
some. You know what?
It's quirks.
It has its uses.
Oh, sure, I bet.
There's a lot of drawbacks. I'll put it away. But
Okay,
he
alright.
trapped. But in order to use it, you have to kill someone of your own alignment. And Draylin killed and trapped somebody in here. We saw it. We saw him do it. This was like it was like 200-ish years ago though. So it happened a while
okay.
ago, but still.
Cool. Maybe let's not show that to the
Yeah,
lady.
no, I don't plan on it.
Yeah,
Good.
that's more for your information.
No,
Yeah.
appreciate it. I love being in the loop. We love it.
Anyway, yeah, so I don't know. Is it weird that I kind of just want to like see if I can like befriend her?
No,
Like, just
I don't
be
think
like-
so.
No, I think that's chill. I would just
Like-
say let's befriend her by trying to like get information out of her about Drake.
Yeah, and then I kind of maybe I'm just being a little sneaky little dummy, but I kind of want to be like, hey, crazy about this fog, am I right?
Maybe we don't bring up her vampiricness. I feel like it's maybe a little touchy. Even if
I
she's
don't know.
kind of accepted it. Because
I
4
kinda
random
wanna
people she's
ask
never
about it.
met.
Being
Knows
like,
about it.
hi, welcome to your deepest, darkest secrets.
Yeah, I don't know who you are. What are you doing here?
What do you think, Armor? You've been pretty quiet.
That's my secret. I don't think.
Something tells me Amory just wants to fight.
Listen, if it comes to that, I wouldn't be opposed.
That's also why I kind of want to be like, hey, let's. I don't want to. I want to leave the meeting with it known that we know that she is a vampire, and whether
with it known.
Yeah, whether she wants to be our friend with that knowledge shared or not.
Let's not use it as blackmail, though.
No, not as blackmail. I just mean if she wants to fight us.
Are continuing talking. Viadem steps back into the hall.
Hi, Viadem.
He'll bow slightly and say, Lady Nakart will see you.
I bow stiffly back.
Stepping into this room, I would say this is probably one of the stranger rooms you have seen. There is a small little raised platform that Lithelia is sitting on. She has a large harp next to her that she is playing. Across this room, there are probably about a dozen different mirrors in here. And strangely enough, she has a reflection in all of them.
That is interesting.
They're like enchanted mirrors? I don't know. Okay.
Or possibly not made of silver.
Oh, yeah.
She's
Other
going to
random question.
Go ahead.
If Amaru is in there, in the mirror, does she still look like in her shattered form?
Amaru does not look like her shattered form. You see her natural Ilderon features in the reflection of each mirror.
Oh, it's true sight mirrors, like
Shattered too.
Oh. Okay.
Lithelia is going to look at all of you coming in. And do we have a portrait for her? I think we do. Come on, Emmy. You're good at stuff.
Can I speak first?
Oh, before she greets you? Sure. Viadem opens his mouth to introduce you. She holds up her hand. What do you say?
Greetings, milady. Beautiful harp playing.
She's going to nod and say, and I'll return to it shortly. Are you here about your cousin?
My cousin? What does she mean? Who's
the missing Toll's daughter? Your younger sis? Or,
well...
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I misspoke. Your younger sister.
Right, yes. Well, I suppose I have some questions about that. I have some questions for you in general, I guess.
She's safe, I can assure you, and she's seeking other opportunities outside of your family's organization. Okay. If you wish to speak to her, I can arrange so.
I would be interested in that.
Is your father holding up well?
Billy's gonna try and not give too much away about her father, just for the sake of her family. He's as he always is. He's fine.
Your home is going to be the forefront of this coming war, and I don't wish what's about to happen there upon anyone. I have my own concerns, though, in what's happening on the northern part of our country, and unfortunately my forces are occupied, so your father will have to hold the door for at least a month.
Yeah. I plan to be speaking with him about that. I would hope that our alliances will hold strong.
Good. Perhaps you can convince him to stop being so fucking stubborn. Let him
Believe
know
me,
that
I
I'm
try
not his
every
enemy.
day. Yeah. Alright. I'll try to talk to him. Maybe my sister can help as well. She's much better with getting through to him than I am.
Lethalia will sit up and say, "Is there anything else?"
I had a few questions about, do you associate with Lord Draylin much?
You
In
see like a very neutral expression on her face.
Okay.
This woman doesn't care much about mundane matters. And I would say you're probably talking to the second most powerful person in the country right now. And just all of that calm neutrality of just I just want to play my fucking harp tonight bleeds into anger. And she's going to say, "No, I don't have many associations with Lord Madison."
Look, he's no friend of ours.
You've spoken to my right-hand woman. I'm aware that you all have been investigating, moving about, and looking into things, and that she informed you of our relation ship. Yes, we've sent assassins after Draylin. Yes, we will send more. No, we don't want to use the Tolls organization for this. None have yet to be successful.
Truthfully, you know, you've probably noticed I don't tend to actually represent my family much. Yeah?
She's going to nod and sit back for a second and say, "I'm going to do more listening. If this is an entrepreneurial push for you striking out onto your own, I'm interested."
Well, that's not too far off from the plan. The servant has left, right? The one who escorted us here?
No, Theodem is standing in the doorway.
Milady, may I ask you to dismiss your servant? Just keep this between us for a bit.
She'll wave, and Theodem is going to say, "Send for me if you need me." He
I
bows to
much
everyone
appreciate
in the
it.
room and leaves.
I told your servant that I was representing the Tolls family. I'm not. This is entirely, I guess you could say selfish, but this is my group's goal at the moment. I haven't discussed with my family at all, so don't worry about if this is officially getting the Tolls involved. We want to pick a bone with Draylin. And yeah, we have heard you aren't on the best of terms with him, to be frank.
She's going to bring her hand to her chin and say, "You have to understand, my position in this country isn't one that I can lightly pursue my personal passions. There are many things in public personas that I have to be conscious of."
I can understand that.
I can offer support, but not in many of the forms that you might wish.
Subtle support would be good. We can be your champions in a way, if you'd be interested.
I'd like my name to have nothing to do with this.
Sure. I mean, doesn't have to be said to anybody else that we're your champions.
she's going to look to Ivana and say, will this be within the official logs of the Unrepentant?
No, I'm currently off duty.
Good. I make plenty of donations to your chantry, and I can make
And I appreciate you for that.
I can make another one with you as my personal messenger. If some of that money goes missing for your own cause, that's nothing that I'll be too concerned about.
Thank you.
Truthfully, we're interested in, let's call it a friendship of sorts with you. Because something tells me you have a lot of personal beef with Draylin. I'm not going to make any assumptions out loud, but lines can be connected.
She silently watches you.
I won't judge you for whatever that is. If you want to share it, and if you don't want to share it, that's okay. But he's no friend of ours.
Harder, left. She's gonna nod and say, I've made my sentiments clear.
So if you were to help us with Draylin, what sort of information can you give to us about him?
That's what you're after. Information?
Yes. Information. Support is good too, but I have a feeling you know a lot more about him than you've been sharing.
Honestly, heading off Draylin isn't cutting the head off the snake. It's lopping off one of a hydra. My reasons for wanting his death are personal, intense, and passionate. How much good it'll do in the grand scheme of things? She shrugs. It's his friends that are dangerous. Draylin's the mind that researches and finds all the strange arcane ways to empower them. But they're the ones with the fangs and vengeance to use it.
Right. Okay.
His circle, the Twilight Fang, they killed, assassinated the High Priest of Light.
Yes. Yeah.
8 years ago. They're responsible for why Calcrest still isn't found to this day.
That makes sense.
If you want to join his little boy club, you have to commit a horrible atrocity.
Such as?
One tantamount to genocide. It's the entrance requirement for them.
Literally killing a whole group of people kind of situation, or more specific?
She's gonna wave her hand and say, I don't know, the bastard's sadistic.
Fair. What would you say? So you're saying, by the fact that you're describing it as a hydra, that there is no one head, that it is a group of heads that need to be culled.
She nods and says, they circle Arothia by the week. They hunt me like a dog. If I step foot out of this keep, no doubt one of his other fangs will strike.
May I ask why they have a reason to kill you? Is it just because you're going after Draylon? Or is there more to it?
Roll me a persuasion check.
Okay. Sorry, my cat is on my mouse. There we go. Oh! Can I take more misfortune?
Sure, go for it. I'll never stop you from taking misfortune. What you don't know is I've rolled 2 misfortune checks for you already, and you've passed both. So please, by all means.
Oh
Okay.
no.
Okay. Can you do the thingy with the misfortune while I roll again?
Yeah. What?
Please don't nat one. Please don't nat one. Please don't nat one. Please don't nat one. Please don't nat one.
I
Okay.
don't see the roll. Oh, okay, that's beautiful.
Oh, thank God.
Billy, you take a moment and you choose your words wisely. You're asking for why they want to kill her, and I think like you take a moment. You said the question. She seems reluctant to answer, and you have a second to like say something else. What do you add on to that?
Oh, the thing I said was, what was it? I said something about, my wording was,
Why do
are
they want
going
to kill
after
her?
you?
Yeah.
Yeah, other than the fact that, she's going after Draylon. What do I add on?
Yeah, how do you persuade her to give up this information that she's reluctant to give? You have succeeded on the check. I just want to know like what Billy's saying.
Are they perhaps interested in erasing a mistake?
Lethalia is going to shake her head and say, no, I'm interested in erasing my own.
Yeah.
Long ago, when I was a young girl, I knew Draylon, and we wandered the countrysides, the fields, the hills, the forests, the rivers. I loved this land. I loved this place. And he said he was going to give it all to me one day. And I worked to help him be able to do that. And we did such terrible things together that I realized when I would receive this nation, it wouldn't be the place that I called home. And since then, I've broken off and I've made a new life for myself. I do my best to build up Ardor Sarai to be the best it possibly can be, to put aside our petty grievances, our wars between rival houses, to make alliances where people don't want to negotiate, to get your stubborn father off his ass. And I will drag this nation towards greatness if I have to. And that goes against their plans, because if Ardor Sarai succeeds, they can't conquer it.
Yeah. DM, how known is it that Draylon is a vampire? Like, would it be like one of those things of like casually bringing it up to another noble would be like a "what do you mean" if it's not known kind of thing? Because I feel like we've known it since session 1, so it feels
it's
very
gossip
known to me. Okay, it's gossip.
Well, I know it because I did the divine sense thing, then went mad because there was a god at the party.
And I think Amaru saw the reflection in the spoon.
Yeah, lack of reflection.
Yeah, the lack of reflection. You guys would have passed on that information to me.
Yeah, it is gossip that he is a vampire. Ardor Sarai as a nation is one of the few nations that don't actively hunt their undead citizens, but it is still incredibly taboo to be Terai or to bring it up and accuse someone else of it if you're not 100% certain.
So it wouldn't be out of pocket if I kind of, considering how much she hates him,
Yeah.
acknowledge it. Okay. Right, so you were in a relationship with him.
We're not here to dig up my personal history.
Right, I understand.
I told you I made bad decisions. I had bad taste in men. I'm done with that now.
Listen, men suck. But if we're talking about bad relationship mistakes, you're talking to the fucking queen of it. I get it. I dated somebody who turned out to literally just be dating me to get information about my family once. So that sucked.
Your little girlfriend was a spy?
Well, I had more than one girlfriend. Yes.
She's going to nod and say, makes sense. Unfortunate.
Look. I'm trying to figure out how to word this. My brain's not working right now. Did he do anything to you? Other than emotionally? We won't judge if that's the case. But one thing's for sure, no matter what you say, we're gonna kill Draylon. And I would like for us to be friends.
There is a long silence. And she'll, I don't think she acknowledges it, unfortunately. I think she's just going to start playing her harp softly.
You mentioned how much you love the land. Do you miss getting to see the sun?
Yeah.
There's so much mist that's constantly surrounding your lands.
I can tell that you're getting at something. If you have information you want to share, I've shared freely.
Are you a vampire?
She's going to say that term's rather pedestrian for me at this point.
Fair. A creature of the night.
Scholars would say Terai, but after Draylin and I were done with our physical forms, I'm hardly certain if that term even counts.
That's understandable. Have you ever desired to free yourself from that? Or have you embraced it? Because if there's something, if you do want to break it, we can try and help.
Lothelia's going to smile softly and say there's only one way to do that.
To kill Draylin?
She shakes her head and says no. Once you're a Terai, it's permanent. Irreversible. You have one opportunity to come back. And it's a gamble. You die. And you have somebody true resurrect your essence to reconstitute you. But to do that requires slipping through the gatekeeper's grasp.
How many cases where that's been successful? Do you know? I assume you've done your research.
Lethelia is going to shrug and say, out of the people who can afford it, or rather few can afford it, and out of the people who can afford it that I've attempted, less than a half dozen.
I mean, that's honestly better odds than I expected.
When you're a Terai and you pass away, there is no afterlife. There is nothing.
That's awful.
She nods.
I'm sorry.
And she's going to say, I might be dead, but my body still moves. My mind still thinks. I'm still in this world. My goals aren't the same as they once were, but that doesn't mean that I have to give up on them.
I understand. I might not be able to personally connect to that, but I certainly understand why you hate Draylon so much.
Draylon is the least of my concerns right now, but if you kill him, it would make my day.
A huge part of your concerns, I assume, is the war and my dad.
She's going to nod and say, I think your father's being manipulated by someone to start this war. I've told him to ease up off of those caravan raids. Lethelia is going to shrug and say, a ghost. Someone we've been trying to track. They're using dead aliases on all of their paperwork.
They're not literally it's called a Terai?
Mm-hmm.
It's not,
no,
they're not literally a Terai.
You are aware of the person she's talking about. It's Elena. It is very prominently known with lots of evidence that Elena is dead.
Oh, yeah.
You guys learn that Elena is alive, and have not divulged that information.
Right. Forgot about that whole situation.
Like I
said,
the
rest of the world doesn't know about what happened last session. This
whole campaign has been upended. Elena's trying to start a civil war. And everybody is trying to put out the fires that she's starting, not really even knowing that she's much of a thing.
I kind of glance at
her
Ivana.
mentioning I'm literally gonna be like, don't fucking say anything. Like in my give her like an eye, being like, shut up, don't say anything about it.
I like give like a slight like hands up thing of like I wasn't gonna. Okay, interesting. Well, I really appreciate your, what's the word I'm looking for? Forthcomingness.
Candor?
Yeah, I was gonna say candor.
Mm-hmm.
Candor's a good word. We say all this out loud.
This is in character, yeah.
In character.
Candor? Candor's a good word.
Yeah. Lethelia will continue playing her harp and say, it's nice to have visitors every now and then. Your sister was good company.
Well, if you would like to casually meet again, and perhaps play some music together, you have my contact. don't have to worry about it being associated with the Tolls family unless you need it to be. If you know what I mean.
Lethelia will nod, stand up, and say, and of course, everything shared here tonight is stays between us.
Absolutely.
Of course.
From both sides.
And if I start hearing rumors circulating about Lady Nakart, the vampire, won't be the first time I've silenced them.
No, don't worry. Wouldn't dream of it. You wouldn't be the first person whose secrets we've kept. And make sure you don't mention Lilfur to anybody. That's also between us.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to make an insight check.
Go for it.
I just want to know like, what are the vibes? Am I believing that this is working, or is this too good to be true?
Ooh.
Everything you've heard about Lethelia, whether it's propaganda or truth or not, is that she is a huge patriot. She offers tons of support all across the country, but she leaves trails of enemies as she does it, oftentimes just bulldozing more politically oriented and like established families, much like how she ripped the Tolls' family in half and took half of their land from them. A lot of things like that. So I would say what you are seeing, the person in front of you, kind of lines up with some of the stories and things that you've been fed. That, okay, everybody did say she was a patriot, everybody did say she was mean, and everybody did say, you know, she contributes to Ardorian causes.
Yeah.
As far as how she feels about her undead nature, I think you're gonna stop about. I think you're gonna stop short right there of like, yeah, it's very complicated. Hard to tell if she
Yeah.
hates or likes this thing.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh! No, ignore me.
Okay.
I was gonna use the empathic aura, and I'm like, not too risky.
Do it, because I know what that feat does.
Yeah, you wrote it. She would know it was me if that happened, right?
If it fails.
Yeah, if it fails. But I am so curious. Could you, out loud, could you set up a meeting for me with my little sister? I would like to check in on her.
She's going to nod and say, certainly, and you should be aware that, now that we're speaking candidly, there's a long pause as she looks ashamed and kind of turns red and says, there's a problem in Somar Villa. I have to feed once a month.
Yes.
And the people I feed on are willing and volunteer.
Yes.
And they spend their last month of life in entire luxury. And a very generous donation is given to their family when they pass. one of the individuals who accepted this offer was not entirely happy to wither away, and has elected to continue their life attempting to feed on others. It's been a growing situation here in Somar Villa, an outbreak of other terrai that I am nearly I'm nearly in control of. As the situation is almost resolved. I was working with the sage of Ardor Sarai, but not only did he go missing, but I found out he was doing other things beyond just the deal that we made with each other. A gap in my foresight, unfortunately, caused
That was definitely a hit, for sure.
your sister to become afflicted with a similar condition that I suffer from.
My little sister is a terrai.
Lethelia's going to nod. I currently teleported her to the Darkened Vale. She is living comfortably and she doesn't even feel the hunger.
Okay. That's where Amaru's from, right?
No, Amaru's from a Lil Nagai. To
right.
show you the map, and you can roll me a history check on the Darkened Vale because there is some interesting stuff about it. If you go to the right map on the screen, you are in Ardor Sarai. The Darkened Vale is all the way over there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You are going to be aware that the Darkened Vale is a nation of terrai. It is a place where they performed a profaned ritual and kind of killed the land. Nothing grows, no sun shines. It is incredibly hard for living things to survive in the Darkened Vale. And that's on top of it being in a desert already. However, the ritual they did feeds terrai magical energy as they roam through the nation. It is one of the few places that terrai can live comfortably.
Well, I guess I'm glad that she is comfortable with in the condition because she's there.
Lethelia is going to nod and say, poor child spent the last month trying to figure out how to get her soul back.
That's really sad.
Wasn't till nearly the end that some associates of mine found her.
What was her name again?
Sona Tolls.
Sona. Poor Sona. Has my sister gone to meet her?
Lethelia is going to... Well, actually, she's going to say Kylissa has reached out to me, but there's many more things pressing with your family. You all are staring down a army on your own, and it's going to be a week before anyone gets you support.
Could you give me her information? I don't think it's I mean, it doesn't sound like there's any rush, but I would like to meet with her.
Sona,
Yes, Sona. When maybe things settle down a little bit.
Lethalia is going to nod and say, well, actually, she'll stand up and ask you to follow her, leaving this room.
I cock an eyebrow, but follow.
Yeah, she'll lead you through total darkness, again, and eventually to another, more personal room of hers. This one, seeming to be a bedroom, and to a desk, and she'll pull out of the desk a sending stone and offer it towards
Oh.
Billy, and says, I sent her with a faction of people that I do not have the closest relationship with. I have one agent helping her, but she has a stone to contact me if anything goes wrong, as she's getting set up in the Vale.
Thank you. Sincerely. This is really huge. Thank you.
She'll nod and say, I'm sorry that this happened.
That's all right. I'm sorry for this whole situation.
She's going to smile and say, give her about 100 years and she'll start to realize that somehow this weird thing can be a blessing on its own.
Is that how long it took you?
She'll nod and say about one lifespan before I turned it around.
Well, I'm glad that you were able to find... I'm trying to think of the right word. Sorry, this is the whole session tonight.
Mhm.
I'm glad you're able
It's
to
kind
find
of big,
solace.
so...
Yeah. I know, I was about to say the light in your situation. I'm like, bad wording. I'm glad you were able to find some form of peace.
She's going to nod and finally, and she'll say, since we're allies now, compatriots, if you will, I need you to convince your father. Well, not convince him, but please keep him informed and close to our alliance. We can't trust Walter, and we can't trust the throne.
I understand. What is it specifically that you would like me to get him to do? And I'll do my best. I can't make a promise that I will successfully convince him because I don't have a huge sway. But I will do my best, and I'll talk to my sister and see if she can also try.
Kylus is a good Ardorian. She can be motivated with the promise of glory and reputation. Your father is sometimes a petulant child that gets in everyone's way.
Yeah, you can say that again.
I'm trying to get Lord Bredrick to join us.
Who's Lord Bredrick?
You have not heard or met that person.
Oh.
Lord Bredrick.
Okay, I'm not crazy.
Well,
I was like, did I forget?
You are an Ardorian noble, so you know this. That is the final and fifth provincial lord of the campaign.
Okay.
Or of Arder Sarai, of the eastern farming provinces.
Right.
And Lethelia is going to say, the decisions coming out from the throne, whatever Respis and his diviners are doing, the just insistent, headstrong nature to refuse to use caution with any approach to the storm that's been surrounding us.
Yeah.
We can't trust the throne, and I've been trying to get Lord Bredrick to join our cause, but he's resilient, and Walter is the same way. If it comes down to war, the Surreals, my forces, and your father's, it would be tough, but we could likely defend off the Ililnagians and take the throne for ourselves if we need to.
Alright.
But not if your father stabs me in the back when we need him most. Then he dies, we die, and everybody suffers.
Yes, I would agree. Okay. Well, yeah. So, in other words, you want me to just basically be like, hey, get on Lady... Fuck, what was her name again? Lady
Nakart.
Lethalia. Or, yeah, Lady Nakart's. You want me to say, hey, get on Lady Nakart's side. Basically.
I'm so sorry, but she just does not have a high opinion of your dad, as she continues and says,
I don't blame
no,
her.
he's on our side, but that little brain of his concocts ideas.
So stay low.
She nods. Says, greed is not our friend right now.
I understand. That is going to be a hard ask, but I will try. I promise you, I will try everything to make sure.
Lethelia is going to say, Anadelia has been investigating since your last meeting with her to loop you into our circle's knowledge. We found out that this is all being orchestrated together. The fall of Westwind, the army on Ililnagai's border, the cult rising inside of Ardor. The assassins.
Yeah. By the way, has Galay been with us this entire time?
Galay, yeah, is and knows how to recognize power.
Galay has been respectfully quiet.
Galay has a fascination with powerful people. That said, though, Lethelia will say, if we figure out, or if we find the perpetrator and the director of this chaos, then I fear it might even be too late to stop the things they put into motion.
Yeah. I understand. I will speak with him. And is there anything that you need our help with concerning... I mean, the Sage's death. It sounds like you've got a lot of problems locally that you're dealing with. Is there anything we can do?
If you fancy yourselves, hunters.
I sort of glance at Amaru. With like raised eyebrows.
This
Go on.
escape Terrai of mine has been cornered and cut off from all the other resources inside Somar Villa. He's known as Tyrant Robert around the town. And with everybody within my network looking out for him, he's turned to other options.
I think
So
we
would
would
you
be
like us-
happy. Yeah, we would be happy to assist.
Have you heard of the followers of the Fifth Ascended?
I have not. I've been literally living under a rock.
Have I?
You have, and I think all of you have, actually.
Oh, have I?
No, not Malila. I'm so sorry.
But like
Oh,
Misty.
No worries.
Yeah. Remember there's that fire cult in the city that's being ran by a different, scarier shadow cult that's fundraising them? They are the followers of the Fifth Ascended. Their names have been very briefly mentioned, and they have been trying their best to stay out of the spotlight.
Okay.
Lethelia is going to say a few pods of their members have shown up in Somar Villa. They have a small but well fortified den in West Town. Sona informed me about it. And it's where she went looking for Tyrant Robert to get her soul back. Little did she know he wasn't capable of such a thing. Regardless, if you could clear it out for me, that would save me a great headache.
Sounds good to me. You guys game?
Like I said, happy to help. Especially since we're so friendly now.
Lethelia is going to turn her hands over and say, a meeting tonight was unexpected, but perhaps if you work well, we can tie our inner circles together. I don't leave the keep. I work through Anadelia. If you need anything else from our alliance, I'll instruct her. Simply reach out to her and she'll make it happen.
Thank you very much, my lady. I extend my hand for a handshake. She doesn't strike me as a hug person.
No.
She doesn't strike you as a touch person as she looks down at it.
Fair. I sort of like raise my hand back up with like a hands up thing.
Mhm.
Fair enough. I get that look in her eye.
I could just see you like you're holding your hand up for a handshake and she does nothing and you just like wave at her with it.
I do the I can't actually think of a specific example. My brain's not working tonight.
It's all good.
I do the hands up like I'm being arrested kind of emotion.
Yeah.
Like, all right, fair enough.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, before we go, Malila is going to, she's going to grow a little. She's gonna take out one of her wind lilies and
Ooh.
give it to the lady and say, just so that our evening isn't one-sided. And I'm gonna hand her the wind lily.
She is going to take this flower, knowing exactly what it means, as she looks up, eyes wide, the first time, like, beyond disinterest and hatred, the first genuine, like, moment of, I guess, like, stunned empathy, as she takes it and says, the Stormfather's back? Of course he'd be back. She twirls the flower. We're on the path of the righteous.
A beautiful flower and beautiful news for a beautiful lady.
She's
telepathically laid on thick with the flirt in there, girl.
She is going to take a moment to smell it, and smile, and she'll look and say, "Did he give it to you?"
Unfortunately, no. I just found them.
Gifts are welcome around here. If you carry them, come by more often. She's going to put the flower in a vase by her bed.
And I
kinda,
bow out.
I kind of give like a little nod to her. Sorry, what's your character's name again, Nancy?
Malila.
To Malila, just like a little nice.
I do the chin up nod. The oh yeah.
She is
And
a
then
devout
I bow.
follower of the Four Ascended, though.
Oh sure.
Yeah. If you give her a symbol of like, hey, God who's been missing for 700 years is hanging out. You're like,
Have
wait.
some hope.
Right? It's hot.
It is hot. I knew that.
Otherwise, I think she's going to shoo you all out of her room. And she's
We'll let you get back to your harp, milady.
and again she'll say, I hope you're successful and let's work together again.
Of course.
And she heads off into the darkness. That said, I think
It's a good way to end the session.
it is a
Yeah.
good place to end the session, but Lethelia also knows a little bit of magic. And coming from her, you'll see a small dancing light overhead that will almost be a little will-o-wisp to lead you out of the these halls.
That's nice.
Yeah, and we'll end there for the night.
Yay!
Hey.
That wasn't what I had planned. I actually had combat planned for tonight, but
Oh shit, with who?
it was very, very dangerous for you guys to be walking around these halls alone because, like I said, Viadim was scared of something that was out there. But it was fine. You guys,
The amount of times we narrowly dodge combat.
well, I don't think you're dodging next time. I think next time you're diving in and kill some people.
I know, I actually
probably.
want combat, to be honest. I'm down.
I
for it.
remember you were like, let's call her a vampire and see if she kills us.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, okay. Vampire fight.
Last time Lethelia touched somebody, she threw somebody, I think, 12 feet, like over a table, out of a room, into a wall. And
Ooh,
the
fair.
party didn't know she was a vampire at that point. They were like, holy shit, what's this lady's problem? But the person was
Strong.
being like very rude. Yeah. Oh God, I gotta do experience in this. Oh no, we do milestones. I forgot what game I was playing.
You've been doing that a lot tonight.
I know. Okay, so are there still significant milestones in the epilogues of a campaign? I guess so. I think it's a big moment to learn that Lithalia is secretly a Terrai and is fighting you already knew she was fighting that other organization of evil vampires. But I think that's still a milestone on to itself.
She's a vampire friend.
Yeah, I think last session was a Misty session. This was more of a Billy session.
Yay! I haven't had one of those in a while.
Yeah, and maybe next session we'll do a Sora or an Amaru session or a Melila session.
Yeah.
We'll see. And yeah, so I think one milestone, and I'm gonna erase 20 misfortune from Billy and 10 misfortune from everyone.
Yay!
And
20
I think
you said?
yeah,
Woo.
and then I think just flat 10 inspiration for everyone tonight.
Yay!
Very cool.
And Amaru, you, I think you would probably be the one who's holding Galay's bag of rock lily dust.
Oh shit.
As far as like, yeah,
Illegal substances.
She definitely left you holding the bag.
It's not illegal, but you do need to be of the proper profession to have it in Art or Sarai. That said,
What is
I'm
the proper profession?
It's a medical anesthetic.
Ah. Yeah, so none of us.
Yeah. I'm gonna put the rock lily dust in your channel. You have 3 more doses of it.
I have added it to my sheet as 3 of drugs smiley face.
All right.
Yeah.
That is tonight's session, and I'm going to be hanging out for a half hour afterwards. Everybody watching, thank you, goodbye, and you're welcome to join us.